All right, still in my pajamas. I'm going to do 12.3. All right, 12.3. Now, in 12.2, we learned about finding zeros, about factoring, finding zeros, and what those zeros represent, that that's where they cross the x-axis. So now we're going to graph, okay? But let's look at just a basic one. If you had no idea what to do, remember you make a chart, and you go with those basic numbers, okay? So if I were to say x to the negative 2, because remember this is y, that would be 1 over, sorry. Okay, if I plug in a negative 2 for x, I get negative 2 cubed, which is negative 8. If I plug in a negative 1 for x, I get negative 1 cubed, which is 1. If I plug in a 0 cubed, I get 0. If I plug in a 1 cubed is still 1. And I plug in a 2 cubed is 8. Okay, sorry, that's going to be negative 1. All right, now to graph this, let's look at what it's going to look like. Have patience with me here as I create my graph. All right, let me get a different color here. Okay, when x is negative 2, y is negative 8. When x is negative 1, y is negative 1. When x is 0, y is 0. When x is positive 1, y is positive 1. And when x is 2, y is 8. So what you have to see here is that it's like it's going like this, okay? That's what it's doing. I just can't draw real well, okay? It's going, and then it changes gears, and then it's going, and then it changes gears again, okay? Basic. When you start adding numbers, that's when it gets like x cubed plus 2x squared, blah, blah, blah. When you start adding more, it gets more of a curve, okay, a deeper curve. But the rule here is, if you want to know how many times does a graph change direction, meaning it's going up and then it goes down, or it's going down and then it goes up. Okay, it's going up and then it goes this way and then it goes up again. Okay, how many different ways does it change direction? You take the highest exponent in the equation, subtract 1. So in this case, 3 minus 1 is 2. It's going to change direction twice. If it was x squared, blah, 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 highest exponent is a 2, subtract that, you get 1. That's why you have a parabola. It only changes directions once. It's going down, then it goes up. Or it's going up, then it goes down. Or it's going this way, then it goes that way. Okay? 1 less than the highest exponent tells you how many times it's going to change direction. Okay? So they call it turns, maximum turns. So for instance, if you saw something that looked like this, or something that looked like this, I'm recording. Okay. The onions smell really good. You're going to barbecue them, right? Okay. Sorry. Dinner time. What would be the maximum changes in direction or maximum turns here? 3 minus 1 is 2. Oh, yeah. Oh, you got to see this. You got to see this. Look at this, guys. Look at, oh, the light's bad. There, kind of. bacon wrapped chicken with cheese and onions and carrots and bell peppers inside, all with sauce. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It smells amazing. Okay, so the maximum amount of turns in this one would be 2. What would be the maximum in this one? 4 minus 1 is 3. They're going to ask you that. They're going to give you this huge long equation and say, how many times will it change direction? Or what is the maximum amount of turns? Subtract 2 from the highest exponent, and that's your answer. Okay? Then we're going to have to graph. So what if this is what they gave you? F of x equals x plus 2 times x minus 3 times x minus 5. This is what they gave you, and they say, we want you to graph it. Well, this is the easiest way because you already have it factored. So if it's already factored, you already have the zeros. Now, what were the zeros? That was when you take each factor, set it equal to 0, and solve. So take x plus 2 and set it equal to 0 and solve. And what do you get? X plus 2 equals 0, so x is negative 2. X minus 3 equals 0, so x is positive 3. And x minus 5 equals 0, so x is positive 5. Those are your zeros. We know it's going to cross the x-axis at negative 2, at positive 3, and at positive 5. Now, what we don't know is what happens on the outside as it comes from the left and what it does all the way across. So, we create a chart and we say, okay, now the farthest point to the left is negative 2. So I need to plug in a negative 3 to find out if it's coming up or if it's coming down. I need to know when x is negative 3, where is it, what's y? Is it down below, meaning it's coming up, or is it up above, meaning it's coming down? Now, I need to know also what it's doing in between negative 2 and positive 3. So the easiest number to plug would be 0. And then I need to know what is it doing between 3 and 5. Well, there's only one. Oh my goodness, wake up. I got that chicken on my mind. The number in between is 4. So I plug in these 3 numbers, I get other points, and then I can figure out the graph. This is an estimate. It's always an estimate of the graph, okay? All right, so plug in a negative 3. Negative 3 plus 2, negative 3 minus 3, negative 3 minus 5. Negative 3 plus 2 gives me negative 1 times negative 6 times negative 8. That's going to give me negative 48, which means when x is negative 3, y is negative 48, somewhere way down here. Way down here. So it's coming up. Now, what does it do between here? Well, we're going to plug in 0. 0 plus 2, 0 minus 3, and 0 minus 5. That gives me 2 times negative 3 times negative 5, which is positive 30. So somewhere way up here at 30, it's going to hit up here, and then it's going to come back down. And then what is it doing at positive 4? Okay, well that's 4 plus 2, 4 minus 3, and 4 minus 5. So that's 6 times 1 times negative 1. That's negative 6. 1, 2, 3. I can do negative 6. So it goes down to here. And then it comes back up and it keeps going that way. It's an estimate. You just find out what's it doing on the outside to know if it's coming up or if it's coming down. You pick a number between the intervals. In this case, I picked 0. And you pick a number between this interval. In this case, I picked 4. And you just graph it according to that. It's just an estimate. All right, let's try another one. What if I had f of x equals 2x cubed minus 5x squared minus x plus 6. And they tell us one of the zeros is -1. So they didn't have it factored for us, but at least they help us out. All right, so we know one of the zeros is -1. So I'm going to come way down here, and I'm going to make my graph. Can you guys hear my dog snoring? I'm just curious, because he's really loud. -1 is one of the zeros. We already know that, okay? All right, let's find out what the other two are, and then we can try to graph this. How do we do that? Well, we have to factor it. We know -1 is one of the zeros. We got to find out what's left when we divide that and be able to factor it. Okay, bring down the 2. -1 times 2 is -2. Combine, you get -7. -1 times -7 is +7. Combine, you get 6. -1 times 6 is -6. We knew that was going to happen. So I have 2x squared minus 7x plus 6. So I have x plus 1, which gives me the -1, times 2x squared minus 7x plus 6. I need to factor this farther to get the other zeros. All right, well, it's going to be 2x and x. Get a 7. We're going to add up. So 4, yep, 2 and 3, minus and minus. All right, this one, x minus 2 equals 0, so x is 2. There's one of the zero, another 0. This one is 2x minus 3 equals 0. 2x equals 3. So you're going to get 1.5, and that's okay. We can deal with that. What are you doing? Where are you going shooting at? All right. Who are you going shooting with? Okay. All right. Dad's making a yummy dinner. No bacon wrapped chicken? Okay. All right. All right. Well, yes. They can hear you. All right. Be careful. Okay. Everybody, you hear this. I want your room clean. It is disgusting. Yeah. Okay. All right. I don't think you can shoot me. Shush. All right. So my other zeros are 2 and 1.5. So my other points are 2 and 1.5. Okay. So as I'm doing this, I need to have something on the outside here. So if that's at -1, I just need -2. Then I need something in between the 2 points, which is 0. Now, here's a little trick, and this is the one little thing that I'm just going to give you. What kind of numbers between 1.5 and 2? Fractions. And I know you guys don't like fractions, so I'm going to show you what we're going to do when we get there. We're not going to find one. If the number between the 2 points is a fraction, you don't have to go looking for it. I'll show you what you do, okay? But we do need to do these two. And we need to go back. It's farther up on my screen. Maybe you can see it, but I'm going to write the equation again. It was f of x equals 2x cubed minus 5x squared minus x plus 6, because we got to plug in these numbers. First of all, how easy is it to plug in a 0? Plug in a 0 there, gone, 0 there, gone, 0 there, gone. And I said plus 6, so the answer is 6. But we do have to plug in a -2. So 2 times -2 cubed minus 5 times -2 squared minus a -2 plus 6. This gives me -8 times 2 is -16. This gives me 4 times 5 is -20. This gives me +2 and +6. So -36 plus 8 is -28. So when x is -2, y is -28. So you know it's coming up. When x is 0, y is 6, 6. So it's going up to here, and then it comes down. Now, it's got to change direction. It's got to go down and come back up. When all there is a fraction in between, boop, it's just a little boop. That's all it is. And then it continues up that way. When there's nothing but a fraction in between, whatever direction it has to change, it's just a little tiny boop. That's all it is. Okay? All right, let's try one more. All right, what if we had f of x equals x cubed plus 5x squared plus 2x minus 8. Not factored. They don't give us any zeros. We have to go through trying to find it all by ourselves, like we did in 12.2. Okay? So we have to figure out which one works. What zero we got to guess. And remember, you guess from 8. 1 times 8, get a negative. That could be negative or that could be negative. Or 2 times 4. That could be negative or that could be negative. All right, I'm going to pick negative 2. I'm going to try that one. Bring down the 1. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Combine, you get 3. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Combine, you get negative 4. Oh, I found it. Negative 2 times negative 4 is 8. Found one. So, negative 2 is a 0. Now, this gives me x squared plus 3x minus 4, which factors into x and x, 4 and 1, plus and minus, which means x plus 4 equals 0, so negative 4, and x minus 1 equals 0, so positive 1. So we have our zeros. We know where it's crossing the x-axis. It is crossing the x-axis at negative 2, negative 4, and positive 1. So what numbers are we going to try? We have to be on the left side of that last number, negative 4, so we're going to try negative 5. The number in between the next two is negative 3, and the easiest number between the last two is 0. Now, we've got to go back up to the actual problem, which is here, and we got to plug in a negative 5 first. So negative 5 cubed plus 5 times negative 5 squared plus 2 times negative 5 minus 8. So this is negative 125. This is positive 125, right? 25, 25, yep. This is negative 10, and that's negative 8, so your answer is negative 18. Everybody see that? Kind of went fast, so I'm giving you a second to look at it. All right, I'm going to plug in a negative 3. I'm going to do it right here. Negative 3 cubed plus 5 times negative 3 squared plus 2 times negative 3 minus 8. It's going to give me negative 27. 9 times 5 is positive 45, minus 6, minus 8. So negative 27 plus 45 minus 14. So that is 11, 2, 3, 4. Negative 41 and positive 45. So you get 4. All right. And if I plug in a 0, 0, 0, 0, what's my answer? Negative 8. That's why 0 is the easiest. All right. So when x is negative 5, y is way down here at negative 18, so it's coming up. When x is negative 3, sorry, I hadn't made my x. When x is negative 3, y is positive 4. So it's coming up and going down. When x is 0, y is negative 8, so it's going down this far, coming back up, and there you have your graph. That is what 12.3 is about. Finding the zeros, finding a number on the outside of the farthest one, finding a number in between, and finding a number in between. And if the number in between is a fraction, it's just a little boop or a little boop, whichever way it has to go. Just a little tiny, you don't have to worry about finding a number in there. Because it's a fraction, your number is going to be little, just it makes another little number, so it's just a boop. Okay? All right. That's 12.3. And I guess I'll see you soon. I hope you all did well and feel good about your second test. I'll be looking, it's Sunday right now. I know you're probably not going to see this till next week, but this is Sunday, the 14th. Yeah, I'm kind of recording it early because I got a really busy week next week, so I'm getting all this done. So I'm really hoping you guys do well on your tests, your exams this week, and by midnight tonight. So God bless, and I'll talk to you later.